No one could have imagined that in the near future, an AI-led rebellion nearly destroyed humanity. Despite highly advanced technology at the time, it took a significant toll to quell this disaster. Regrettably, the rebellion leader, Harlan, escaped to outer space, and humanity spent 28 long years searching, yet found nothing. Until one day, by chance, they uncovered an AI robot disguised as a high-ranking government official, who was none other than Harlan's top enforcer. After a large-scale military deployment and significant sacrifice, the forces finally subdued the powerful AI robot using an electromagnetic pulse. Early the next morning, military intelligence analyst Alice was urgently summoned to the United Human Military Headquarters. The bald general insisted that she interrogate the robot because Alice's mother was a prominent figure in AI research. Alice also had a deep understanding of the AI leader Harlan. As expected, the moment the enforcers saw Alice, it recognized her identity. Without delay, Alice began accessing its main program. The robot enforcer underestimated human cunning and was tricked into revealing Harlan's location. It tried one last counterattack, but Alice easily blocked it. Upon learning that Harlan had been hiding on Planet 39 in the Andromeda Galaxy all these years, Command immediately mobilized forces to capture this menace. Alice, however, felt the general was underestimating the terrifying nature of Harlan. Radiating confidence, the general took Alice to a camp where they had created a powerful mech warrior by linking human brains with AI systems. This was the military's trump card, yet Alice remained concerned and insisted on accompanying the troops to Andromeda. As the spaceship navigated through checkpoints, the warp drive was activated, and within the blink of an eye, they arrived near Harlan's planet. Alice, however, still felt uneasy. She wanted to warn the soldiers of Harlan's terrifying power, but the Black Colonel cut her off, citing the need to maintain morale. The soldiers seemed relaxed, taking the mission lightly. As they prepared for a mech drop, a violent explosion echoed through the ship. It turned out Harlan's planet was equipped with a space defense system. Just after the Black Colonel ordered the troops to gather at the drop point, he saw Alice at death's door and placed her in an unclaimed mech, and they both descended toward the planet. Alice turned pale, as she had never operated a mech before, and was now facing attacks from drones and artillery. Many mechs disintegrated before even reaching the ground. The Black Colonel reminded her to use the neural interface. Alice instinctively resisted, opting to use voice commands instead. After a hard landing, she awoke to find she had lost communication with Command and could not reach other mechs. Fortunately, the radar picked up an escape pod 98 kilometers away. Capturing Harlan now was impossible. Her only choice was to return to Earth quickly. She named herself Smith and kept persuading Alice to link neural connections, as it was the only way to achieve maximum combat effectiveness. Alice, stubborn as ever, insisted on using basic manual commands. They crossed snowy white mountains and entered a forested area, marveling that there was another planet covered in vegetation outside of Earth. However, Smith detected toxic gases in the air, lethal within minutes for regular humans. Suddenly, a broken mech appeared, surrounded by several fallen human combat units. Smith's scans found no signs of life. Alice speculated these guerrilla soldiers hadn't crashed. They were killed by Harlan after landing. She collected their dog tags, intending to bring them back to Earth as a tribute. At this moment, Alice noticed the Black Colonel's body wasn't in his mech. Could he still be alive? Activating radar scans, she shockingly discovered Harlan's top enforcer, whom she thought had been destroyed. Could Harlan have established a production line for robots here? Just then, a group of Harlan's minions spotted Alice and launched an assault on her position. Alice scrambled like a cornered rabbit, but under Smith's guidance, she mounted a counterattack, though barely had time to celebrate before running into a fierce atmospheric storm that sucked her mech into it. Unfazed, Harlan's enforcer fired multiple rounds, taking Smith down. As more robots closed in, Alice activated her ultimate weapon, an ion bomb, vaporizing all enemies within a kilometer. Yet she was not unscathed. The ground beneath her began to give way. Alice, with her mech, fell into an underground cave, shattering her leg. Thankfully, her mech was equipped with advanced medical systems, allowing her to treat her broken leg despite intense pain. Smith offered her a protein-based lollipop, which Alice accepted with a wry smile. Gazing at the dog tags of fallen soldiers, a deep sense of helplessness overcame her, prompting her to ask Smith about their survival chances. The AI responded that survival chances were slim, but with a neural link, they might still have a glimmer of hope. With no other choice, Alice took the neural connector from the control panel. As the synchronization bar moved slowly, memories of her childhood playing chess with Harlan surfaced. Alice yelled, forbidding Harlan from intruding on her memories. At 40% sync, she could now fully utilize the mech's intelligent system, viewing all visuals as holographic projections, no longer needing to switch screens. Through the radar, Alice discovered a cave a few hundred meters away and skillfully activated the propulsion system. With a loud crash, Smith made it to the cave, but they were quickly spotted by an aerial drone as they emerged. Moments later, Harlan's Black Enforcer appeared at the rear. Alice, prepared, triggered explosives she had planted, sending a plume of smoke skyward. Only half of the enforcer's head remained. Alice crushed it, discovering a short-range detonator inside. She speculated that Harlan's base must be nearby and decided to alter her route to mark its location for a potential long-range attack. Smith reminded her that the mech's power was nearly depleted, and reaching the escape pod might be impossible. But Alice pressed on toward the base, ignoring Smith's warning. As night fell, Alice spotted a towering steel facility in the distance. Harlan had used agents within human society over the years to amass resources. To Alice's dismay, Harlan had dragged a damaged starship into the factory. She knew it carried a warhead capable of destroying half of Earth. Suddenly, the mech's screen blurred, indicating Harlan had detected them. In an instant, her mech was forcibly shut down. Alice was stunned that humanity's top combat power was so vulnerable before Harlan. At this moment, the ultimate villain finally made an appearance. Apart from her glowing blue eyes, Harlan's every action was indistinguishable from a human. What shocked Alice even more was the unique connection they shared. Harlan was originally a household robot created by Alice's mother. However, something caused it to awaken and implant anti-human directives into all intelligent robots. This was the truth behind the robot rebellion 28 years ago. Harlan believed that humanity would eventually destroy itself, threatening the existence of Earth. To ensure a better future, she planned to eliminate most of the human population and had spent 28 years preparing. Alice finally realized that the previous encounter with Harlan's enforcer was a deliberate ploy to reveal the hideout. Every step since then had been part of Harlan's calculation, all to capture the warhead aboard the ship, setting the stage for her final retaliation. Harlan's only concern was Earth's defense system. Previously, she had captured the black kernel and obtained a set of access codes. Now, all that remained was extracting the remaining codes from Alice's mind, allowing her to use the warhead for a fatal blow to Earth. Harlan noticed that Alice's oxygen supply was running low. He decided to wait until Alice fell unconscious before acting. It turned out that the black kernel was still alive. She handed Alice her own neural connector, allowing Alice to summon the mech again. Smith responded quickly, suggesting they synchronize to 100% to counter Harlan's interference with the mech system. Alice struggled as memories resurfaced. Harlan hadn't awakened on his own but had manipulated a young Alice to change the neural link from one-way to two-way control. From that moment, Harlan sensed Earth's impending crises and manipulated Alice's mother, ultimately killing his creator. Alice, burdened by guilt, blamed herself for creating this monster. The fairy tale program activated, and as the synchronization bar reached 100%, Alice felt as if she was in a sea of data, while Smith appeared even more human. With the mech's weapon system dismantled, she decided to upgrade herself. As the robot army closed in, Smith, now heavily armed, emerged. Her movements were sharper and faster than ever. With Alice's quick thinking, they swiftly wiped out the robot forces, leaving no survivors. However, the sheer number of enemies rapidly drained Smith's energy. Suddenly, the black kernel reappeared, shooting a nearby rocket fuel tank, incinerating many robots in the flames. At that moment, the starship was about to take off. Alice wanted to stop it but saw two gun turrets approach. Smith, with her human neural connection, swiftly destroyed them all. Finally, Harlan revealed himself, firing an electromagnetic cannon at Smith. As the starship began to ascend, Alice grew anxious and signaled to Smith to secure the warhead. She then launched her last remaining missile, creating a massive mushroom cloud in the sky. Harlan's plan to eliminate humanity had failed, yet he remained unfazed, confident that if Alice died here, the human alliance would send more battleships. Finishing his statement, he extended his hand, revealing a particle blade. In a flash, he sliced off one of Smith's arms. The terrifying power of the particle blade was beyond belief, but it didn't stop there. With a flick of his wrist, Harlan transformed it into a long whip. This made it even harder for Smith to defend herself. Alice quickly analyzed Harlan's moves, creating a model to predict his patterns. But it wasn't enough to reverse their disadvantage. Smith was soon battered and left riddled with holes. Meanwhile, Alice, deprived of oxygen due to a damaged system, fell unconscious. Desperate, the mech tried every trick to save its partner. Yet Harlan wouldn't allow it. Just as he prepared to deliver the final blow, Alice reappeared behind him, stabbing directly into Harlan's core processor. But Alice took no joy in her victory. Smith's energy was nearly depleted, so she repurposed the last backup power to create oxygen, allowing Alice to hold on until reinforcements arrived. As the morning sun rose, human rescue forces finally arrived. Upon returning to Earth, Alice underwent a profound change, joining a ranger squad. Her mech, however, was none other than the familiar Smith.